I'll just do that and there. Okay.
Yo, welcome to the first episode of Sidetracked. Today, me and my brother are starting a podcast called Sidetracked, and this is the first episode. This is the show where we have a rundown, we have a plan. There's absolutely no guarantee we follow either of them. Lincoln, do you want to say hi? What's up? How are you today? Yeah. I'm good. I'm just been planning for this all day. And we've got aviation, news, weather, sports, majority rules, geo, the Sidetracked Showdown, and probably about 17 conversations that have absolutely nothing to do with any of those. I'm Ben, also known as Beanie, and joining me is Lincoln. So now we're missing someone. Snoopy's running a little late, and he will be joining us. Until then, Lincoln and I have control of this podcast, which may or not be a good idea. And we are not alone today. We have Storm Chaser Cam joining us later for weather. We've got some geo coming up, and we have this special guest today who is coming up in the second segment. But first, we're starting off with one of my favorite subjects, aviation. Let's get him in here. Yo, what's up, Captain Cargo? What's up? How are you? Um, who are you, and tell us about you. What's your favorite Airbus plane? Yeah. Is that your favorite aircraft right now? What's your favorite route to fly? Yeah. Or what's your favorite airport to fly to? Have you been to any of those IRL? Yeah. Um, what is one? I'm doing what? Oh, I forgot to do that. My bad. Um, so I've been talking to myself, I guess. Uh, I guess we have to restart this. Uh,
Okay.
Welcome to the first aviation segment, Captain Cargo. Uh, Tell us about aviation today.
All right. So one of the first things I have here is some update 6 for 2024. I feel like it's a really good update, but like bush trips and the DLS support, and now we have like 6x on frame gen now, which is insane. You can really multiply your frames by that. That plus auto FPS is like a game changer.
Would that change me getting 3 FPS when they take off in the 220?
I haven't really. Well, I've done one flight with the new update so far, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I flew with the new update yesterday, and I couldn't get off the ground.
Wait, why? You don't know how to fly the A220?
I do know how to fly the A220,
He
but
crashed.
yes.
Oh,
Uh, and it was in the FNO with 130 people on the ground.
oh yeah. Forgot you're playing India then.
Were you flying last night?
No, not at all.
So we have a couple questions for you. What is your favorite aircraft right now?
All right, favorite aircraft, probably the A350. Probably one of the best planes ever. Any builds, they did a good rendition of it. It had a lot of issues when it came out, but now it's gotten a lot better.
How many times have you flown the A350?
Like in real life or in the sim?
You've flown on the A350 in real life?
Yeah, I have.
What?
I have actually.
Yeah, where did you fly?
This Doha, I think it was. Yeah, Doha. And what was it? I think Africa, Cape Town. That's where I flew.
Cool. Um,
How was your experience flying it?
It's good. I mean, it's a really good plane. It's very modern. So it's one takeaway.
yeah. We've talked about planes that you like. What is one that you don't like?
Maybe one that I don't like. I don't know. Mm, It's difficult to say. Probably. I don't know. I don't really think I have a least favorite plane. Like the only one I kind of don't really like is the CRJ. I just find that it's kind of outdated. It doesn't have like auto throttle or anything like that. Like, I mean, it's supposed to be a regional jet, but it's like so cramped.
I
Yeah.
have a question. Do you think supersonic passenger travel will ever make a big comeback?
Probably not. I think it's too inefficient. Like it'll be good for like a certain period of time. It was good for like that time, but now, especially with this,
Um, what is
Answers to
the
that?
what is the best airline in the U.S.?
airline, either JetBlue or United, probably the two best airlines. Well, I mean, American isn't that good. I've flown them before. Delta, I've only flown them twice, so I can't really say. I mean, United and JetBlue are like my most flown airlines, so like I can talk about them more often.
Yeah, I don't see much JetBlue or United or JetBlue. Because we are in Atlanta and we only see Delta here.
Oh.
What is the best and worst airport that you've been to?
Best airport, probably Doha, and worst, um, difficult to say. We don't really have like a least favorite airport.
I mean, an airport's an airport, so like I don't know what classifies it to be like the worst airport.
I mean, like I don't really think I have one. Maybe like Newark. That's like the only one I don't really like. I mean,
I'm trying to think
like
of
I
the
just
airport I don't like the most. Palm Springs was cool. Honolulu was cool.
What were some of your favorite and least favorite airports to fly into?
can you hear me? Uh, like I think like one of my favorite airports was like Doha. I mean, least favorite was probably Newark because of how crowded it was. It's just not very good. Another close one is like O'Hare. Like O'Hare and Newark, I just don't really like them.
And
When we went when we
what is
went to
one route or
O'Hare,
destination you Ben go?
when we went to O'Hare, we went through security and our gate was like right there, so we didn't experience all the American and United crowds.
Well, I mean, I connected in O'Hare, and it's just I don't know. It's just it's too big of an airport in my opinion.
I feel like it's too big for all the taxiways it has.
Like it's one of my least favorite airports for flying on VATSIM and in real life. Just taxing at it in VATSIM, it's just not. It's too confusing. I always seem to mess up.
Yeah,
What is the coolest airport you've ever been to?
Coolest, maybe
Or like most unique?
Tokyo. Maybe Tokyo. Like that was really. I mean, it was really good. Like there was a plane spotting area where you could plane spot. Like it was super cool. Like we got to plane spot for like maybe 30 minutes, 10, 30 minutes.
yeah.
Ben loves to go plane spotting at the Atlanta Airport.
Yeah. We went when our last trip was 2 weeks ago, and we went to Alaska, but we flew into Seattle. The terminals are like so close to the runway that you can get like close-up pictures of planes.
Oh, okay.
So we have 2 more questions and then an activity left. So what is the best add-on in Flight Sim right now?
Just add on. Probably the PMD 777. I don't know. I see like no issues with it. Like people, I've heard like no bad issues like or anything like that. It's so reliable. It's not really any issues or bugs that are like game breaking or something like that.
Yeah, would you recommend buying it?
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
Any of the 4 variants, you'll buy it.
Yeah. Oh, what is your dream route to fly IRL?
Dream route, probably the longest one in the world, or probably Project Sunrise, whenever it happens.
You explain Project Sunrise?
Like
Yeah.
projects like from London to Sydney, like what Qantas is doing for the U51,000. Like that'd be insane.
Is it just like a really long flight?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's like
22 hours or something.
like over 20 hours, which is really insane.
Is that gonna be the longest flight?
Yeah, it is. Longest flight in the world.
I don't if I mean wouldn't New York to Sydney, if they flew it, be the longest?
I mean, they're both the same length, honestly. Like they'll both do it because it's the same length.
Yeah. And one more question. Actually, we asked all of our questions. So, the activity is aviation would you rather. So I'm going to ask you 10 would you rather questions and you will answer. And Lincoln, you are answering too.
Okay.
And I'll answer too. A380 or 747?
Probably A380.
Yeah.
Definitely the 747.
I'll do the A380.
Why?
Probably
What's so
Because
special?
it's newer.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be cool to ride on an airplane that you can't fly on anymore?
True. But yeah, I don't know. But I like Airbus more.
Why do you like Airbus more?
Because I don't really fly Boeing airplanes.
Is that just because does Delta not fly them?
No. We just don't fly the places that they don't fly. Airbus, that leads us into our next question. Airbus or Boeing for the rest of your life?
the rest of my life. Probably Airbus because like imagine not flying the A350 or A320 or the Neos like for the rest of my life. Like there's only like a few good Boeing in my opinion. The 757, 737, and the 777. So I have to say Airbus.
Uh, Window seat with no legroom.
or
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 an aisle seat with extra legroom.
probably an aisle seat. Like, especially on like a long flight, like it depends on like the flight. So I'd go aisle seat if I'm doing like a long flight.
I feel like a window seat with no legroom would be worth it on a long flight.
It all depends on the plane, which it's guaranteed going to be like a 777 or bigger.
Lincoln, which year?
Um, I think window seat with no legroom, cause
It's a window seat.
yeah, and also the wall to lean up against, it's pretty nice. And I don't really care too much about legroom. I mean, no matter what, you're gonna be uncomfortable. So
Yeah. All
yeah.
right. Next question: 45-minute flight on a CRJ or a 10-hour flight on a 350?
350 in my opinion. Like, I just think
A
like it's so
45-minute flight, you could drive and get there faster,
exactly. Like you could honestly try it.
but you can't drive from Chicago to London.
Exactly.
Only fly Delta or only fly United for the rest of your life?
United because like I've flown of them more often, so I probably know how every plane would be. Like I've flown like their triples and yeah, I've flown their 777s or 787s, their Maxes, I think, and their NGs, 77 NGs.
Yeah.
I've never flown the Airbus though, which is interesting.
Atlanta or Dallas for your home airport? I would go Atlanta because it is.
Probably, probably Dallas, honestly, because like it has such a good plane spawning area. Like,
Atlanta
and
has a whole
also you could
hotel.
yeah, exactly, and you can see the A380 because Qantas does routes in their A380s.
I think I heard Emirates is flying to Atlanta now.
That is true. Emirates flying to
Or,
Atlanta would be really good.
I mean, they did it in the Delta 777 in the past.
Yeah, yeah, they did, but obviously Delta doesn't have it anymore.
Fly first class once a year, economy 5 times a year.
So difficult, but like economy, man, like because like it's only 5 times a year, essentially. It's not like you're flying like over 50 times a year. If I was flying over 50 times a year, definitely first class. So that'd be like painful. And it all depends on the plane as well, too.
I mean, you only get to fly first class once.
Exactly. So it's only one time. Come on.
I flew it
Only
twice in
once.
one weekend before.
Oh, actually, wait, where?
I flew to Cleveland and then to Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Be an airline pilot or be an air traffic controller.
So easy. This is an airline pilot.
I'd
ATC,
be,
I don't know.
I
Just
would be an
on
air traffic controller.
ATC just sounds pretty boring. You sit down, like if you're a pilot, you can fly, take off and landing. There's different stuff that can happen. Like there's something new every flight.
This is a
Like 8?
simulator question.
Okay, simulator. Okay.
Perfect weather with a boring approach or terrible weather with an interesting approach?
Terrible weather with an interesting approach. Like you never know what could happen though. You could divert, you could crash. Something could happen. Like
Yeah,
especially on that
and
as
you
well.
don't lose your life if you crash. That's always good.
Exactly.
Would you rather be stuck in an airport for 8 hours or have your flight canceled and come back tomorrow?
Probably flight cancel and come back tomorrow. Cause like staying in an airport for 8 hours, like you would have to like what would you do? I mean maybe a lounge, but like there's only so much you could like do at a lounge.
It
You can
depends
only
what
eat.
airport.
Exactly. That's another thing too.
All right, one more.
Is this
You
the last
get
question?
yes.
Okay.
You get unlimited free flights for life, but every flight has a connection at one airport. Which airport are you choosing as your permanent connection?
What are the airports? Like what options?
Pick one. Any.
Um oh okay. Probably like a connection one because like you could get like a random airport. Like you could get Dallas, you could get Atlanta, you could get Newark, get Boston, Miami, LAX, Seattle, Denver. Like you could get so many other options. Like you can also go to airports that you never plan on going to.
Yeah, so what is your answer?
Like the connection one. One have to connect and limited flights for like for your life.
No, it's you get unlimited free flights for life, but every flight has a connection at one airport. Which airport are you choosing? It's like not a would you rather. It's the question.
I would honestly. Oh, it's not. Would you rather? Okay. I would honestly do it. Honestly, I would do it.
You're doing it, but what airport are you choosing?
Oh, what airport? I'd probably pick like LAX. Such a huge airport. Also, I've never been to LAX.
Yeah. All right, that's gonna do it for the aviation desk. We're not leaving aviation just yet because we've been keeping something from you guys. And thank you for joining, Captain Cargo. All right, Lincoln. Are you ready for the next segment?
Yes.
Um,
Is Snoopy planning on joining?
I moved the stuff up, so
What has he said?
he said he's doing something with his mom, and he'll be on
When?
eventually. So now we are introducing fake Boeing 737. And here he is. Hi.
What?
How are you doing?
Well, I'm well. How are you guys?
Good.
Great.
First off, for anyone who is watching who doesn't know you, give us a quick introduction and who is fake Boeing 737?
Yeah, no worries. So I am like Beanie and I imagine Ark here as well. A Microsoft Flight Simulator YouTuber and also a plane spotter of the past. Not so much now, but a little bit of plane spotting in there as well. Based in Bermuda, which is, for those of you who don't know, for one, we're not in the Caribbean. We are north of the Caribbean, pretty much level with South Carolina, out in the middle of the Atlantic. So I've been doing flight simulator content for quite a few years now. It's been a while, but I am also actively in flight training. Just recently completed my commercial rating and my instrument rating. So I now have a flight crew license, which is valid for the UK. I'm not doing a license, I'm doing a UK license instead. Splitting up the time between flight sim now and real world flying, which is pretty cool.
Thank you for that. And I have to ask, where did the name fake Boeing 737 come from?
It's an interesting origin, and not a lot of people know this, and it was coined years and years ago, all the way back in, it was probably 2017, 2018, and on Fortnite actually. It was not a flight sim created thing. With Fortnite, obviously create a username. My classmates was with in school, we all um, they all had names, Fortnite names that started with fake and then whatever afterwards. And so the fake bit is from our Fortnite group, and then the Boeing 737 bit. I felt like Boeing 737 kind of ran off the tongue a bit nicer after fake rather than like fake Airbus A320, fake Boeing 737. Boeing kind of just rolled off the tongue a bit easier. So as much as I am an Airbus guy over a Boeing guy, Boeing 737 was coined from that. So it's an interesting one that has actually nothing to do with any aviation games or anything like that. But obviously, as I am a massive aviation nerd, there had to be some sort of aviation correlation, and I've just kind of stuck with it ever since.
How did you originally get into aviation?
So I've been into aviation pretty much my whole life, and I don't really know where the exact origins of it stem from. Being in Bermuda, it's a small place, and so the airport was never far away. My house was within a 5-minute drive, and every day before, on the way to school, we would drive past the airport, so you'd get to see all the planes. No one in my family really is into aviation themselves. Like neither of my parents are involved in the aviation industry. Uh, the On my dad's side, my granddad and I think my granddad was in the RAF, so I get a little bit from him there, but uh, he's in the UK, and so didn't have a large influence on it. But I think it was just the constant exposure, being in Bermuda. Whenever we went on vacation, it was we had to take a plane. It's not like the US where you can drive to places, or it's not Europe, or it's not anything of that. We're 23 miles. We don't have loads of stuff here, so anytime we went anywhere, it was on a plane. And so I think it just naturally was uh, absorbed into me, and from there, kind of took it. I've had a flight simulator for years now, dating back to FSX and Infinite Flight, like early Infinite Flight days. I've always played aviation related games, that sort of thing, and so it just kind of kept growing and growing, really.
Yeah. Bermuda
Since
is
you do a
very
lot
small.
of Since you do a lot of plane spotting and aviation content, I've got to ask, what would your ultimate plane spotting catch be? Like if you could have any aircraft in the world show up at your local airport tomorrow, what would it be and why?
That's a good question. Bermuda. So the joys of Bermuda is we already have such a vast variety of stuff that we get here, and we're very much a diversion airport for any flights. U.S. flights from Caribbean destinations up towards New York, Boston. We get loads of diversions from there. So I've seen the likes of your common A320s, 321-73s, all of those kind of things that would do those various routes. And then we also get stuff from Europe going to the East Coast or down towards, again, the Caribbean, Brazil. We've had multiple diversions there. So we've seen 787s, we've seen 747s, recently had our first 350 to the island. We've had an Air France diversion of an A350, and then we had the German Air Force here just the other week, and they performed a low approach. I've seen a lot of it, but I think if I had to pick one, uh, whilst also keeping it realistic, and this would be a historical. It's not possible now, but Bermuda's airport was designed to support space shuttle landings in the event of an emergency. When the shuttle program was going on, the Bermuda airport was owned by the U.S. It was owned by the U.S. It was a U.S. naval base. And I guess Air Force Base more accurately. And so the runway was, say, suitable length to support the shuttle. And I think most of us could agree, if we had the chance to. I wasn't. When was the last? The last shuttle was post 2006, wasn't it? Or was it? It might not have been. I can't remember, but I haven't seen a shuttle fly, and I think if one was to, if it was still to be an active program, and one was to show up here tomorrow and in needs of a diversion, I think that would be beyond cool.
Yeah. I've never seen an active spaceship myself. So we are gonna do some aviation rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Airbus or Boeing?
It's Airbus for me. I think it's definitely Airbus, with one notable exception of the 777. That trumps all my Airbus likings. The 777 is first, and then all Airbus below that.
73 or 320?
What was the first one? 73 or 320?
Yeah.
320 for me.
747 or 380?
Uh, eh, 7-4. It's gotta be 7-4. Queen of the Skies.
787 or A350?
Definitely A350.
That's what Cargo said when we asked him this question.
Definitely.
Short haul or long haul?
Are we talking being a
It,
passenger or being a pilot?
I guess
I think it varies.
passenger.
Passenger, I'd say short haul. If it was pilot, it'd be long haul. Extra pay, extra sector pay. Probably in more hours.
Window or aisle?
Definitely the window.
I'm gonna say this question is for Batson. Flying or controlling?
I haven't done any controlling. I've done a little bit of the training. I've done a little bit of training for being a controller. To say it wasn't for me, so definitely flying. Definitely flying is much more enjoyable.
Yeah, real world aviation or flight sim?
Real world.
You said you are a pilot?
Yep. So I've got about 160 flying hours. 200 total hours. That's including simulator training. I've flown Cessna 2 as initial training, and then moved on to the Piper Seminoles for my commercial, and the Diamond DA-42 for my instrument.
Alright. Here's the dangerous one. Give us your biggest aviation hot take.
Biggest aviation hot take. I mean, there's the classic one of, "Oh, I'm a random passenger, I could land the plane." You really can't. Um, that's the hot take I hear from people is, it's if the captains were to die, I could land the plane. I could do it. It's a lot more complex. That my hot take. Uh, think here. I mean, the general consensus at the moment is that Boeing is in the mud. I would say I don't think I'm not in that category of it's things I'm not going, that kind of thing. Like, yes, there are some issues with the aircraft that need to be addressed, but I don't think it's going to actually be a threat. Like, I don't think Boeing's going to go anywhere anytime soon, and I think they're still going to be able to compete with Airbus to an extent. I think Airbus will be the dominating company. That goes without saying at the moment, but we're starting to see a turnaround at Boeing. They've gotten the Max 7 certified recently. The Max 10, I imagine, isn't far behind it on that front. And then they've also got the 777Xs, which are, again, they've had their issues, but I think once Boeing iron them out, it might take them a couple years. It might be a little bit of a hit, but I do think that Boeing can make a comeback with what they have lined up in the works, pretty much.
What originally made you become a pilot, and was there a specific moment that you knew that's what you wanted to do?
Um, I wouldn't say there's a specific moment, no. Being into aviation as much as I was, and kind of the backstory that I was saying earlier, always by the airport, going to watch planes, that kind of thing. I think it just kind of stuck with me that it'd be so cool to, travel the world in air quotes for free. Uh, as a profession, and something that I've always sat by the side of the runway, watched these machines fly, and just be like, that could easily be me one day. I've had in and outs of phases where I've wanted to specifically become a pilot. Like, I've then suddenly uh, decided, no, actually, I don't want to do that. Let's do air traffic control or whatever. I've always been aviation industry focused, but I've had phases of going in and out of, oh, I actually want to end up being a pilot. Uh, it was a cycle. Um, there wasn't really any kind of pull that got me on the path of specifically let's gun for the flight deck. Uh, but I definitely would scare myself away from it from watching too many plane crash documentaries and hearing stories and those sorts of things, that deferred me from wanting to pursue that path. And then I think if I just gave myself enough time and maybe did a couple more flights and vacations to places and actually got back in an aircraft, remembered what it felt like it was completely safe, started doing reading and actually understanding the scope of the accident and what's being learned from every accident, right? Every aviation accident on the surface is uh you know uh thing, but then you dig deeper and you start finding the um the reasons for the accident, and aviation learns and aviation grows from that. Every accident is building the industry to be safer than it was prior to the accident, and training develops, training grows. And so then learning about it then guides me back on the path of, okay, it's fine. Pilots get trained, they know how to handle issues that occur, and it's going to be the same if I encounter a situation, years down the line.
All right. Since we're called Sidetracked, I'm legally obligated to ask you something completely unnecessary. You have to start an airline tomorrow. You get one hub and 3 aircraft types. What are you picking, and what is the first route your airline launches?
I have one hub, I have 3 aircraft types, and I'm looking for the first route to launch. Okay. Let's see here. I mean, not to sound unoriginal, but if if I had an airline, let's say I was looking at a startup, a couple years ago, Bermuda now is unviable. You've got an airline here now. We've got Bermuda Air that are rapidly expanding. But if I was to have created an airline years ago, bringing aviation to Bermuda is something that hasn't been a thing for years and is recently gaining traction again. So I'd have a hub here. I would, in terms of aircraft that I would be using, I would look at probably A321 XLRs, because they've got viable range to get to Europe, and so I'd look at flights consistently to the Azores. I'd look at flights to the UK would probably be 2 of my first priorities, as Bermuda has such limited connections that way, even currently now with the addition of Bermuda Air. And it's reflected in the pricing level that BA charge for a flight from Bermuda to the UK. By giving competition, there's the demand. We see that BA easily fill up a 777 on a daily flight to Heathrow. So I already know there's demand. If I was to add another aircraft on the route, adding competition, we can then start juggling prices down a little bit to more of a realistic price grade, which then gives customer satisfaction on the one hand. You've got comfort in the A321s. So I'd go with them. I'd probably put in some 220s, again, a modern aircraft that has proven reliable to an extent. Yes, you've got the issues that they're facing with the engines on some of their that are made with Pratt & Whitney engines. But again, it's got decent range, which is essential for Bermuda, because we're at least 2 hours, on a normal day from from the States in particular. We're 6 hours to Europe, and we're probably 3 hours down towards the Caribbean. But there's plenty of demand, and so the capacity of a 220 is fairly high up there. And then I'd probably add in again, it's got the range, but equally not. Looking at the price range, we're not going up towards 777s and 350s, but get some 737 Maxes in there as well. It goes back to the point I was making about and kind of turning a corner. They had their issues with the Maxes. We've discovered the faults. We've learned about the issues. They face scrutiny for it, rightly so. But we've seen the Max come back into service post. It's now proving to be just as reliable as your 320s, your 220s, and everything else that there is. So I'd go, towards Europe first. Bermuda as a hub with A321 Neos, A220s, and Maxes.
One last question. Which one aircraft everyone seems to love that you just don't understand the hype around?
Honestly, it's the 787 for me. It's the 787. I don't understand. Like, we've seen, I've never been on one, so it feels it is a case of actually able to talk about this, and this we could probably put in the hot take category from earlier of the 787. I don't think is a very good aircraft. I think you've just got when you look at the competing aircraft in its category being the A350. The A350's got superior range. It's had less accidents than the 787, and honestly, I think from also the look of it, I'd much rather the look of a 350 over the 78. So I personally don't understand it. I don't have anything against if a 787 were to show up tomorrow from a spotting standpoint. Awesome, I'd go out there, get some pictures of it, but equally, I think you've got much better options of aircraft than the 787 fleet.
Right, thank you for joining us as the first special guest in Sidetracked history. Before you go, anything you want to say to people watching?
I think honestly, I would say like if we're looking at if anyone here's aviation focused, keep like it's gonna feel like a long journey from beginning flight training. I could go on for hours and hours about flight training, about my experience. There's a good friend of mine. He's done or he's in the process of making a series on his YouTube channel, which is BVI Sim Pilot, where he's going through the pros and cons of flight training, his experience, which is similar to mine. We're at the same company. And honestly, like there's going to be long nights, there's going to be long days. In particular, it's aviation. Every day is a long day, is what I've sometimes heard from people. But like, honestly, just keep gunning for it, and know that like at the end of it, even flight training is once you get in the aircraft, it is a world of fun. And like that's almost when you have your most freedom. Your solo flights, you can kind of do what you want within reason, obviously, but like then you get to the end of your training, you end up with a license, you end up starting to find jobs, you're then traveling the world. Like I said at the start, you're traveling the world for, in air quotes, free. Like it's such a good time to get into the industry as well. So like never give up on that goal of I'm going to get through flight training. I'm going to get to the flight deck. It's a long process, but it's absolutely worth it, is what I'll say on that.
Yeah. thank you for joining us. And
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
yeah. See ya.
Yeah.
And everyone else, don't go anywhere. We've got news, weather, sports, majority rules, Geo with Cam, the Sidetrack Showdown, and After Hours coming up. We'll be right back. We're taking a 5-minute break.
Hey, Spotifyers! Click or tap the banner to listen to viral hits. Viral, trending, and taking off.
All right, let's see. All right, aviation and our special guest are behind us. It is time to figure out what else is happening in the world. Welcome to the Sidetrack News Desk. So, we have 5 things that we've chosen to talk about today that are like the top trending things in the world today. There was a major earthquake in Indonesia. A magnitude 7.7 earthquake struck off the eastern Indonesia, with Reuters reporting at least 47 deaths and significant damage. This is probably That's a strong earthquake. A tropical storm is currently hitting the Big Island in Hawaii. AP reports Leila is bringing heavy rain and wind to Hawaii's Big Island and is expecting to strengthen into a hurricane. Scientists got incredibly detailed new images of the sun. Researchers using Daniel K. Inouye's solar telescope captured some of the finest detailed images of the sun's surface. Booksellers in Yukon Island say they've received strange bulk orders of suspect AI companies maybe buying books for data acquisition. And Gamescom is coming up. Gamescom 2026 is scheduled for August 26th to 30th in Cologne, Germany. And that's the news segment for today. Signing off from the Sidetrack News Desk. Now we're switching gears because it's time to talk weather. And for that, Lincoln and I are definitely gonna need some backup. Joining us now on Sidetracked, Cam. Cam, welcome to the first episode of Sidetracked. How are you doing? Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the first episode of Sidetracked. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well today. Not too bad. Just not a bad day out with the weather. What about you?
Yeah, I was getting set up for this all morning, and now we're actually doing it. So, is there anything you wanna tell us how you got into weather?
You said you want me to start talking about my weather that I got going on?
I said, how did you get into weather?
Oh, how did I get into weather? I don't know. It's really ironic because I used to be like super afraid of storms and tornadoes, and shoot, one day I just I don't know, started to get interesting and was watching Ryan Hall, y'all. Um, If you guys know who that is, pretty big media weather guy. Um, but I just started. I found it interesting, and I just started to get into it more and more. And as I watched like Ryan Holiel live streams, I started to learn about it and really start to take it into my own thing and kind of do it as a hobby.
Yeah, I used to watch Ryan, and then I found Max.
Yeah, he's another big YouTube guy, definitely.
Yeah. What made you decide to start storm chasing?
Um, Say that again. I did not hear you.
Do you chase storms?
I do storm chasing. I started it actually not too long ago. I got my Skywarn certification and my spotter network ID. And, I really wanted to get out there and not just sit at my house and, watch the radar as it came in. I wanted to actually, get into it and get out there, scout it out, and be there when it's happening, not just watching it on the radar.
Yeah, I want a storm chase, but that's a downside of not having a driver's license.
Yeah, I don't actually, so it would be hard to drive while you're doing it because you're constantly looking at the the GPS, the where to go, what map, the streets, and the weather radar and everything. So I have a driver that drives for me. I can drive, but it's definitely easier when you have a driver because you have an ability to do more stuff.
Yeah, that's why I hope this when we're on car trips. That's why I hope the storms find us.
Do you
No,
remember your first storm you ever chased, and what was that experience like?
okay, my first storm chase, it was not too long ago because I just got into it recently and just felt like I had enough skills to do it. It was um, storms rolling in. It wasn't anything like super bad. It was like just enough to get out there and start chasing. It was ended up being a Timu, as we would call it, special weather statement. Um, Severe thunderstorm warning because it wasn't actually a severe thunderstorm. Um, and then we were chasing that, and then it turned into a severe thunderstorm warning, and it was really hard to see, really heavy rain, like 50 dBz at least. Um, and then when you're driving at 40 miles an hour, it's pretty hard to see out the windshield and all that. Um, and then pulled over at a gas station for a little bit and watched it come in. And then I definitely learned a lot because I didn't go very far the first time. I just did maybe an hour around the area while it came in. But yeah, I
Um,
definitely. You want me to
you
go ahead
go.
or you want?
Yeah, you go.
I definitely learned a lot from it, and I even sense that, like only having done um, that dozen chases or whatever, definitely learned a lot from that first time about, the what you need to do, how to be positioned, and all that kind of stuff.
Um, what's your favorite part of storm chasing?
Say my favorite part of storm chasing would definitely be, you know, getting out, driving to the location and like wondering what it's going to be like as you look at the radar as it starts to come into the area where you're going to set up to chase your staging area. So I think that's definitely the best part. It definitely is like exciting and yeah, it got the adrenaline going when you're chasing or there's like a tornado warning or something. But you really gotta keep your eye open so you don't, get your car flipped over by a tornado and whatnot. You gotta think logically.
What's your favorite state to chase in?
Uh, they only done 3 states, Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio, and I would definitely say Indiana is not gonna be my first pick. Been there every freaking time I've chased. Bro, it's just cornfields and the straight, long, curvy roads and with a no cell service. So definitely not Indiana right now. I mean, my hometown, my home state, Ohio, definitely has to be Ohio. Familiar with the area, so it's really easy to chase here, know the roads, and be able to like get a better view and everything and get around quicker.
Well, I think you answered our next question while saying that. What state do you hate chasing in?
Oh yeah, definitely Indiana, bro. You'll get behind a slow car and then you'll get stuck. You won't be able to keep up with the storm, and then you get behind it, then you're kind of done because you won't be able to catch up.
What's your dream chase setup?
Dream chase setup? Oh boy. So definitely gonna be. I'm a big Honda guy, probably like a Honda Passport or Trail Sport, and then gonna have my computer with like almost like the laptop holder in the car, front and back cameras, a top camera that I can move between side to side, like on the roof, um, and then ham radio in the center console, and then be able to have like my light bar on top, and then maybe like some kind of detail on the side for like my storm chasing.
Yeah. Supercell or Squall Line?
Probably Supercell because you see more like rotation. There's more action in one spot than the squall line where it's just like one big line. But squall lines are cool too. That's where you really get the heavy rain and you're just driving in that and it's like can't see anything. So that's pretty exciting too. But then again, in a squall line, you literally get no service and the radar sometimes doesn't load, which can be a problem if you're trying to storm chase.
If
Tornado
someone wanted to
or
learn storm chasing, what should they learn about meteorology before ever going out?
I would have to say that's a really good question. I want to think on that. Can we come back to that one?
Sure.
just write it in the chat.
Okay,
So
I can do that.
if you don't forget it.
And then when you're looking at a potential chase day, what are the first things that you look at to decide if it's actually worth going out?
Okay, the first thing I'm gonna look at, probably a hot take about it. Gonna look at the SPC outlook. It gives me a general overview of what things are probably gonna be like. Um, I do feel like sometimes the SPC does underdo it. I don't generally look to see if there's a tornado watch or a severe thunderstorm watch because I don't know. It seems like lately they just haven't been issuing them. Like we had a couple days ago, we had that bunch of those tornadoes here in Cincinnati, and there was no tornado watch or anything. Sure, there was severe thunderstorm warning and severe thunderstorm watch, but they never like issued a tornado watch. So I'm definitely gonna go to the SPC outlook kind of just a few days ahead, look at it, see what they say, read it, and then I'm gonna go over to Weatherwise and check out the HRRR and see what that looks like. And then I'll look at the significant tornado parameters, supercell composite, and all the Cape energy and the wind shear obviously, and the 0 to 6, and then above that too on the models and see what that looks like to see if the storms are gonna explode or if they're gonna weaken um, and go like not end up turning out to be anything.
What is your favorite radar product?
My favorite radar product, as in like application or like what comes from the radar.
What comes from the radar?
Definitely gonna just be the storm velocity because it really rules out the motion with the storm, and it really gives you a good idea if there is like a tornado or like some uh, air moving around in there, especially on GR2 analysis because you can get a 3D view and really see the green and the red air moving back and forth or where it is and how high up.
Okay. What's the most busted forecast you've ever believed in?
Um, say that again.
Yeah, that question doesn't make sense. I don't know what a busted forecast is. I guess we'll move on to the next one. What's worse, a 10% tornado risk and nothing happens, or a 2% tornado risk and everything happens?
What's worse?
Yeah.
Um, honestly, a 10%. Because on a 2% tornado risk day, I'm going out no matter what. Like, there's going to be some storms to chase. There may not be tornado, but you're probably going to see some flash flooding and stuff.
So you're going out today?
Not today. No, not. not
You're
today.
2% tornado risk.
Yes, that's true, but I didn't,
And
when I looked at the
tomorrow.
models earlier. I looked at the models earlier though, and they're like, there wasn't that many storms coming through. I mean, we take a look. Yeah, let's do this right now. Sidetracked. So if we're looking at the HRRR right now, we are right outside the mesoscale discussion. For a probability of a watch, it's only 40%. I mean, they always do that, but so if I look at the HRRR, it's only 5%. Let me pull up the earlier run. Okay, 18Z. So if I'm looking at it, like 3 hours, like I don't see anything coming. Like, I don't see the reason for there being a 2%. There is like a small squall line almost that could be stronger, but that's in like 2 days, like Monday or something. There's just nothing significant. And I think we had our storms that came through earlier, and that was about it. So like I don't go out based on the percent risk for tornadoes. I always look at the models and see like if there's gonna be a big cell group squall line.
Yeah.
That definitely went off topic.
Yeah. If you could chase with any meteorologist or storm chaser one day, who is it?
Oh, I would say Brandon Koppel's a pretty cool guy. He knows what he's doing, but Corey Gherkin, he always seems to be getting in on that action. So either one of those two probably.
I've never heard someone say Corey Gherkin before.
He's always in the area with the tornado though.
He's always with Coppet.
Yeah, that's true. They both always get in there.
And who's the other guy?
Chris
Papadan.
Hall. Chris Hall's a pretty good one too.
Uh,
Feels like he's a little more laid back though.
yeah. If you could experience one historical weather event safely as an observer, which would you choose?
Gonna go with a blizzard because I mean, snow's cool during the winter. So yeah, I would go with the blizzard. I like watching the snow come down and the roads be all screwed up. Like I watch it on the traffic cams. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. What's one thing you wish people understood about storm chasing?
Okay, yeah, this is a big thing. Um, I think that a lot of people they're like, all right, we're going out, we're getting pictures, we're gonna see a bunch of tornadoes and all that kind of cool stuff, wall clouds and supercells. But we kind of talked about this earlier. A lot of it has to do with the planning of like when you're going out. If there's gonna be anything, like you're always keeping an eye on that. Um, I feel like 90%, not 90, but like 70, 80% of the time you're driving, you're paying attention to what the forecast looks like, and you're waiting. Like 10% of the time, I feel like you're really in the action. The other, you know, 75, 80, 85%, you're just like taking a look at it and figuring out what you're gonna do.
Yeah. What's the weirdest thing that's happened to you while storm chasing?
I think that the weirdest thing would probably be, I don't know, while chasing the weirdest thing happening, um, would be, it's a good question. I don't know if I've chased enough. I would say if I had to say anything, like about the current events while chasing. It would be, wow, I really don't know. I would say, okay, I'd have to say, yeah, the weirdest thing would be the McDonald's in like Newcastle, Indiana being open while there was the flood water coming into through the door of the McDonald's. When we were out there a couple of weeks ago during the storm chase with that really big long line of storms that just kept forming and coming down towards like Covington, Kentucky, they were dropping a ton of rain in those streets, man. Were like flooded really bad. And the McDonald's was just like open, bro. It was just, and people were going in and driving through a foot and a half of water.
That is interesting. Um, is there anything that you want to say before we move on to the next set of questions?
Um, I don't think so. I have some stuff, remarks and stuff, but I think that can wait till our that section.
This is the only weather section.
Oh, my bad. Okay, I have a hot take, and then I have a few things that I'm watching for. Um, so my hot take is that tornadoes are not as dangerous as flooding. I feel like more people are killed by flooding, flash flooding, and like people aren't as aware of it. I definitely think like the tornadoes don't kill as many people, especially in the areas where there are tornadoes, but they don't usually touch down. It's just a radar indicator, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I would say earthquakes are more deadly.
And then a few things that talking about there is a bunch of flooding in Indiana right now.
Yeah.
There was a couple flash flood emergencies going on down there. So that'll be interesting to see what the damage comes out of that. I've already seen a few videos of like a couple feet of water in towns. And then the only other thing is there's a northwest flow setup I think coming. I was looking at the GFS. Um, it's gonna There's gonna be a trough that comes down. I think the SPC outlook um, is gonna highlight that, like the Great Lakes, Midwest. It's gonna because we've been out in
Tuesday?
on yes Tuesday
Yeah.
and that there's gonna be a
Tuesday on one of the models looked like 20 like discrete cells in Nebraska.
yeah gonna it's gonna be pretty gnarly, I think. Unfortunately, we won't be chasing there. Um,
You should though.
I should definitely. I don't know. It would take a day or two to get there, but that would be cool if I could. But I think that's about it.
I think that's I just sent you that picture.
What'd you say?
I sent a picture in the BC chat.
Ah, okay. I
Um
can't see them, but that's okay.
you can't?
No.
I'll forward it to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that. That's gonna be pretty big event, I think.
And of course it happens during the school week. And this is at 7 p.m.
Okay, later in the day.
All right, so do you want to move on to rapid fire questions?
Sure.
HRRR or RFS?
HRRR, bro. RFS over like hypes. Like severe weather, bro.
Yeah, the
Like
what
all
I
the
just
time.
sent is the RFS.
Oh yeah, I barely use it, bro.
Yeah, I only use it for like 3 days in advance storms
Yeah.
because it also says like my house is getting tornadoes on Monday.
Interesting.
Radar scope or GR2?
The GR2, bro. All the way.
Plains or Midwest for chasing?
Midwest. There's more interesting things.
Spring or fall severe weather?
Spring or fall? Ooh, definitely spring. I feel like spring is usually like more severe. There's more like dynamic air, like cold and warm air moving with the humidity from the oceans and stuff. Definitely spring.
Yeah. I would say I feel like fall has the potential to be bad.
Yeah, we'll have to see what it brings here soon.
I think there will be like a week of tornado outbreaks in like mid-September
I could see that happening. That would be great for chasing.
in like Illinois.
Yeah,
Shelf cloud or supercell structure?
supercell structure. Don't ask me why, but I think it would be. I think it's cooler.
I've seen like so much shelf clouds outside. I was at football practice the other day, and there's a shelf cloud. I just watched it go over us, and my coaches did nothing. And then it turned into a monsoon.
Yeah.
Forecasting or chasing?
I mean, that's kind of a interesting question because you forecast when you chase, but if I'm like forecasting online or if I'm chasing, definitely chasing overall. I'm definitely looking forward to the chasing in the winter time with the snow coming. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Morning convection, friend or enemy?
Morning convection.
Like before like
Uh,
the big storms.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely friendly for the storms. It gives them more energy overall. So friendly, because then I get to chase more.
Bust or cap break at 11 p.m.
Say that one again.
Bust or cap break at 11 p.m.
Um, Second one.
You would rather chase at night or have nothing to chase at night.
Oh, sorry. Um, I thought you said something else. So, no, I'd rather chase during the day, not at the night.
Okay.
My apologies.
Um, what what's your most controversial weather opinion,
Um,
or was that the flooding thing?
what was that?
Or
That was definitely the flooding thing, yeah.
um, if you could add one feature to every radar app, what would it be?
One feature to every radar app, it would have to be having 3D like velocity of viewing. I think that's a thing in some, but you have to pay for it. I definitely think it should be free.
Should Snoopy put that in Fort One?
Yeah, I don't know how hard it would be or not.
Where is Snoopy?
I do not know.
What is the weirdest non-weather thing you've seen out while chasing?
The non-greatest weather thing would have to be a um hmm, interesting question. I would say like a Ferrari. I saw a Ferrari in the middle of nowhere while I was chasing in Indiana, in the cornfields.
What's your favorite part about chasing besides actually seeing the storms?
I feel like it's the whole thing, like getting in the car, getting the setup going, because I don't keep the setup up all the time. It's not realistic. I can only do it when I'm chasing. Um, and just like going to like the setup location. That's honestly one of my favorite parts. Is like just driving to get set up.
What's the most beautiful storm structure you've seen?
Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was definitely a supercell that I saw once, and then behind it there was a nice like how do you say it? Like nice, like the sun was coming out from the clouds. It was pretty cool, mixed with the green. It was pretty cool. That was not too long ago, actually. It was a strong line, and then there were no clouds behind it.
What would your perfect chase day look like from morning
Uh,
forecast to heading home?
so it would definitely be, I'm getting ready, getting up at like 8 or 9 a.m. Looking at it, getting a good breakfast, a donut or something, some fruit, and then getting set up for the chase and having a nice little 2, 3 hour stroll drive to our setup point, and then having a bunch of tornado warnings that were like in the middle of nowhere on the ground that weren't causing too much destruction, and then getting like some Chick-fil-A on the way home.
That sounds nice. Where do you want your chasing weather work to be in 5 years?
I would say just like more of a public view basis, like just more people watching, possibly getting paid for it, um, and just say more viewership, like more worth into it, and not just chasing and having a decent amount of views, but a lot, and being able to contribute to the weather community.
Yeah. If you could move anywhere in the US specifically for weather, where would you go?
Um, I might move a little bit more to the Tornado Alley, maybe a little more southwest. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with where I am now. It's pretty decent active weather here.
Or just move to like Effingham, Illinois,
Yeah.
Central Illinois?
Yeah.
Your 3 hour drive from tornadoes every week.
Yeah. Probably that'd be perfect. Yeah.
So, what is more important for saving lives during severe weather? Better forecasts from meteorologists or better decisions from the public? And which side do you think deserves more blame when the people still get hurt?
Um. Well, I feel like there's a big part on the forecasters, right? Because they got to tell people how serious it is, right? But I also feel like it's also like the people's like our responsibility to like take that seriously and like be aware for, be ready for the weather. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you asked me who's more responsible when people get hurt again. Or who was that? The forecast meteorologist or who?
Um, which side do you think deserves more blame when people still get hurt?
Which was the meteorologist or who?
Or the public?
I would say the public. I mean, if you're as long as the forecasters, which they usually do a good job, like if you're hearing sirens and stuff, like definitely should be taking, action.
Um, what's your biggest storm chasing pet peeve?
When I get behind a slow person, bro, and I can't keep up with the storm, and then I get behind it, and then the whole storm chase day is over. That happened last storm chase. I was not very happy. It's like super annoying. Because, sometimes the weather is bad enough, even if there is like you can cross them on the single lane road. Like sometimes you just can't because the weather is not great. You can't see far enough in front of you and all that.
Yeah. Um, if someone's watching Sidetracked is interested in weather and wants to learn more, what's the first thing you would tell them to start learning?
Just only learning like just how to use the radar and what like different thing like warnings and stuff mean. That's definitely where you could start and just start like using the radar or watching Ryan Hall y'all because he talks about all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Uh, do you? Where can I watch you storm chase?
You can
Or
watch me storm chase
is it
on. Go
possible?
ahead.
Is it possible for
Yes.
me to watch you storm chase?
Yes, it's definitely possible. You can go to my website, which has a number of things on it. There's a lot more cool things we have planned coming soon, which is camdoghomelab.org with no spaces. We can put it in chat there. Um, yeah, I have a lot of other cool things coming soon. We have some issues that we're working on right now. Or you can watch me on my YouTube channel, which is camdog capital WX chasing with no spaces, or if Beanie's live, he has my feed. And if you're interested in chasing, you can reach out and we can work on getting you set up with that.
Yeah. I am, I guess, partnered with you. I guess you could say.
Yeah. Um, he does carry my feed and stuff, so and then I think we're gonna do some other collaborations, so you have to see that coming soon. So make sure to stick around in the future, because I think we're gonna have some cool stuff coming in the future.
Yeah. Um, if Tornadoes had a sports team, what state would win the championship?
Oh, Illinois or maybe like Texas, Kansas, maybe. Either of those three. Illinois definitely gets a lot. So I think I'd have to go Illinois if we had to make like a final decision.
Alright. If every weather model was a person at a party, describe one. Describe each one.
Each of them? Ooh, I don't know if I can describe all of them, but I can
Like
describe a
the
few.
3
So,
or 4 main ones.
Okay, so the shoot, what was the one earlier? I don't use it a lot, so I don't remember the name. The one that over forecasts or predicts things is definitely gonna
FS.
be, yeah, is definitely gonna be like the overhype, like jacked up on caffeine kind of guy that's like, let's go do stuff and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that definitely seems like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the HRRR is gonna be the casual but like super smart person that says they're not smart. Um, and they're gonna be like chilling out, hanging, talking to people, and they're like the nerdy guy, but they don't say they're nerdy and they're just chill kind of thing. The GFS has a lot of different products on it. It's definitely gonna be like the actual nerdy person who like comes to the party and has the glasses and doesn't talk to anybody and sits in the corner. But go ahead.
Were you done?
Yeah,
If the HRRR could talk after completely busting a forecast, what would its excuse be?
after busting a forecast,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like, mm, I think I would say, shoot, what would I say about that? I don't know, the heat wave threw me off, or there was the cold front that came through and changed the pattern, and I didn't understand the pattern.
Which is more trustworthy, a day 7 model run or Lincoln saying trust me?
The day 7 model run, because usually they actually tend to be on trends to somewhat of a degree.
Alright, I need Snoopy for the next segment. Where is he? If there's a tornado driven high risk, would you chase it?
Yeah, definitely. Just stay a good distance.
Alright. Last question. What's next for Cam? Or anything you're working on or looking forward to?
Say that first part again. I heard
What's
next thing I'm
next?
working on or looking forward to.
What's next for you?
I'm definitely going to be doing some redoing of the website to be more like style oriented to the public. Definitely hoping to get our AI like weather bot going here soon. That should be really exciting if we can do that. But that's like the main things we have coming right now.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we appreciate you for coming on to Sidetracked.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Um, mm, are you able to come back for Geo later?
Possibly. We'll see what's going on. I got a few things planned later, but I'll
It
let you
will
know.
be less than an hour.
Okay, maybe.
All
More
right.
than likely, yes.
Just have the stream on and join the
Okay.
VC if you want to join.
Okay.
See you.
See you guys. Thanks for having me.
All right. Lincoln,
Yes.
get Snoopy on here. Your job. Lincoln, stop.
This app is going crazy. Ben, was this planned to go this long?
Yeah, but I was like, I mean, having Snoopy here would make it easier.
Dang, I'm gonna build this entire game in one day, and it takes you weeks.
Did you pay?
Yeah, I got the free subscription for 1 month. I think this might be the last thing. It's just making sure all the time stuff works and all the story things. And then I need you to test it. Or somebody to test it. Or multiple people to test it.
All right. We are moving on to sports.
Who are we talking with sports with?
I was going to do it, Snoopy, but now I'm talking with you.
Okay, but I don't know much about sports, so
Exactly.
okay, we'll
That's what I
just have
put in
to go with the flow.
ChatGPT. Lincoln tries sports. Welcome to Lincoln tries sports. Name
Nice.
5 NFL teams.
Falcons, Seahawks, Dolphins. Wait, 2. No, that's 3. I'm at 3.
know.
Chiefs
See.
and Eagles.
That's 5. Who won the most recent Super Bowl?
It was hard to say. Was it the Eagles? Or no. It was like the Seahawks or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was the Seahawks.
Okay, yeah.
Name 3 Atlanta Braves players.
Acuna, Matt Olson, and Ozzy Albies.
All right. What does ERA mean?
Estimated
No.
runs. Average runs.
No, ERA.
Oh, estimated runs average or something.
Run average is correct, but it's earned run average.
Okay.
What does 3rd and 10 mean?
It's 3rd down and they have 10 yards to get the first down.
All right. What's the difference between the AFC and the NFC in football?
It's just the 2 different halves. And yeah.
No.
What is the difference?
Yeah.
Are they different sides of the country?
No.
Yeah, hard to say.
AFC is different. There are different conferences, and one team has each team for the Super Bowl. Name one
Basically what I
current
said.
college football player. And he has to be current.
Yeah, I have no idea. I could not tell you a single current college player.
Can you name me who won the college football championship last year?
Georgia.
No.
Alabama.
No. We're going until you guess this. I hear you typing.
Was it Indiana by any chance?
Yeah, who did they play? And what was the final score?
Miami Hurricanes 27-21.
All right.
How did I know that?
I am going to give you 5 athletes, and you have to guess whether they're in the NFL, MLB, or NBA.
Okay.
Nikhil Alexander-Walker.
Basketball.
Yes. Dalton Rushing.
Wait,
3.
what were the 3 choices? It was
NBA. It was football, baseball, basketball. Dalton Rushing.
Oh, that's a football player.
No, it's baseball. Sandy Leone.
Baseball.
Yes. John Wall.
Football.
No, basketball. And then Patrick Mahomes.
Football.
What city do the Raiders play in?
Las Vegas.
Yeah. What sport does Shohei Ohtani play?
Baseball.
What's a walk-off?
Where they hit a home run to win the game.
I'll give it to you. How many points is a touchdown?
7.
No.
6. 6.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
6, 7. What's the World Series?
The World Series is like the Super Bowl of baseball.
Yeah. Who's better, a team you know or another team you know?
I don't think you're supposed to read that part off of the ChatGPT.
Who's better, the Falcons or the Braves?
Braves, definitely.
All right. Defend your answer.
Because the Falcons just are terrible.
After extensive testing, we can officially reveal Lincoln's sports knowledge score is 7 out of 10.
Hey, it's pretty good.
Um, all right. All right, everyone.
Okay.
We're actually gonna wrap up Sidetracked here for now. Snoopy wasn't able to make it for this part of the show, but we've still got a lot that we want to do with all three of us. So instead of rushing through it, we're calling this part one. We've already had Captain Cargo, Fake Boeing 737, Cam and somehow managed to get sidetracked plenty of times. When we come back for part 2, Snoopy will join us. Will join me and Lincoln, and we've still got a majority, rules, Geo, Sidetrack Showdown, and After Hours. Thank you everyone who joined us for the first ever Sidetracked. I'm Beanie, that's Lincoln, and we'll see you in part 2. Say you goodbye.
Bye.
Until then, try not to get too sidetracked.